Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode, a bonus episode of the Two Player Co-op podcast this week. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
And joining us this week is our brother from my other mother, Mr. Jayson is here for the first time since the Final Fantasy VII Spoilercast.
It's Final Fantasy
So-
VII.
Almost a little over a year ago,
Wow.
because I think it was February or March last year.
Going into
Jeez,
Resident
yeah,
Evil
probably
Village, I didn't think that this game would have as much to talk about as Final Fantasy VII Remake did, but I kind of think it does, and I am so happy about that.
Might even have
And-
more, to be honest.
I don't even have the rigmarole in front of me, but it just, patreon.com/2playercoop, shirts at teespring.com/2playercoop, all that fun stuff. But really, if you couldn't tell by the title of the video, this is a spoiler cast for Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil 8 Village, whatever you want to call it. So if you have not played the game, go away unless you don't care about spoilers. And then stick around. But this is your last warning. If you couldn't tell by the title of the video, you should have already known. But this is a spoiler cast. We're going to spoil the hell out of this game. And that starts now. Now. I did it, Sean. Damn it. Every time I say now. Look at my shadows. I don't like this. Whatever. I don't
Do
care.
you have all the lights on?
No, because I didn't think it would matter with just me. But now, we're not very high production back. It was so funny. Like when we used to be out in the studio, and the studio, in the pool house recording studios, the rocks made it look like there were no shadows. But now, if I go back and watch a video,
Yeah, the
and I
shadows
look close,
just got absorbed.
they were there. Yeah, they were there.
I mean, they were there, but
yeah.
And
they're
you
more
guys
pronounced now.
You guys aren't recording in the pool house anymore?
No,
I haven't really watched.
Yeah.
To be honest, I haven't watched any of the YouTubes. I usually listen to it on like a podcast place because I listen to it at work.
That's fine. We will allow
Yeah,
it.
we moved upstairs. We're back
Yeah.
in the main house.
The playroom recording studio.
Not back in the main house. We're in the main house.
Yeah, we're recording in Castle Dimitrescu now, or Dimitri, whatever the hell you say, your stupid name.
Domitresk.
Dimitres.
So obviously we've all beaten Resident Evil Village. First off, before we get into it, because I was just thinking about this. So Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, they just put the VII in the Resident Evil. This, they did Resident Evil Village for the VIII. Sean, we've talked about this a lot. What do we think? Because obviously there's going to be Resident Evil 9. I'm going with Exodus, which I've said before, and it's just going to be the front, because it's IX, so it'll be the straight line of the E and then the X to make it a 9 is what I think. Do you guys have any idea what you think they might do?
If they would have saved Village for 9, they could have just done VIII with the ILLI.
This is true.
That's not proper Roman numerals, but
right.
they had another I there. I think you're overthinking it. I don't know. I think they're just gonna.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was intentional, but I really don't like. I'm not that creative, to be honest. So
I just think I think Exodus makes sense, and I'm sure they could make Exodus make sense with whatever the hell game they're going to do. We know what it's going to be, but we'll get to that. But so Sean already talked about it on the podcast. Overall thoughts on the game before we get into all the spoilers. Jayson, what did you think?
I love this game. Like honestly, I've beaten it twice already. And I've played the first. So I unlocked the first 3 mercenary levels, and I've beaten the first 2. The third one I'm having a little bit of difficulty with, but like I've been basically getting home from work and playing it until I go to bed, and then going to work and playing it on repeat, basically. I'm working my way through my 3rd playthrough. This game probably has the best story of a Resident Evil game I've played at least in a long time. The only one that I can think that might have a better story is 4. But I think it's kind of splitting hairs between the two of them, to be honest. I think just because 4 I feel like 4 had a longer story than this one did, because you can apparently, based on the achievements, you can beat this game in 3 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how.
Unlimited ammo, unlimited rocket launchers, just skip all the cutscenes. Yeah, that's the only way.
I bet you you can't even just don't even kill any enemies. Just like run past them all have unlimited magnum or rocket launcher for when you need to kill something, and just don't stop running.
I mean, I think it's that, and you have to play it on like the easiest difficulty to get that, because there's no,
Yeah.
like, I'm playing it through on hardcore right now, and it's
Ooh.
like I have infinite grenade launcher, infinite one of the third tier shotgun, and infinite 1911, and I'm having zero problems with anything. Like
Yeah.
there's an achievement, at least on Steam. I don't know about on PS4 or PS5. If you kill in the initial ambush, there's
Yeah.
an achievement for killing 30 of the lichens.
Yeah.
God.
And it's like with the infinite grenade launcher, it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna stand here and just hit everything with a grenade launcher until they tell me to stop.
Well, there's also one for killing what's his name, Urias or
Yeah,
whatever.
You can
I
kill
got
him
that too.
there.
I got the one.
yeah.
Apparently, yeah. So
Yeah,
I
you
got the
can.
one
Wow.
for the 30 lichens, but then eventually it seems like they just kick you out, because I was just mowing them down, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, that's enough. Cutscene, arrow to the leg,
Yeah.
let's go. And they just, I'm like, oh, I wanted to try to kill him too, and they
Yeah,
didn't give me a
so
chance. So
what you
maybe on
have
my third playthrough.
yeah, what you end up doing is you have to get through the ambush enough to trigger him,
Mhm.
and then just lay into him and he dies. Um,
Yeah,
it doesn't impact the rest of the story so
I
far.
was gonna say, does he still show
Yeah.
up later? He must.
So like at least because he's a boss, I would assume he shows up later in the boss part. But at least
Yeah.
in the part where you're like, where Heisenberg has got you in like the gauntlet that you're running through, he
Yeah.
shows up. He shows up in there still after you
Oh.
kill him.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm assuming it's just like part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I now that I've obviously beaten it, well, actually, before I say that, quick question. When you have the unlimited ammo, do you still have to reload, or do you not even
Yes.
have to reload? Okay, I figured. Okay.
It makes it a little bit more because at least with the grenade launcher you can get overwhelmed if you're not careful,
Yeah.
because it's single shot. So if you're going to get anything infinite that's not the grenade launcher, I would highly recommend getting either the 1911 or the Saiga shotgun. Saiga is not the real name of it because that's the actual real name of the shotgun. But it's the you can get a drum barrel for it with 40 rounds.
I saw that. Yeah.
So
Jeez.
it's just like 40 rounds without reloading, and you mow through stuff. It's great.
It's awesome.
I'm going all in and trying to get the steak.
Oh, yeah.
the better Magnum.
So
but holy moly,
that's a
I'm
lot of
still,
money.
I'm pretty much at the end. So I just took over as Chris on my second playthrough. So I'm pretty much done. I can't really get anything else to sell on my second playthrough, and I still haven't gotten it maxed out. Even if I sold every other weapon, if I sold all my worldly possessions, I would still be like a couple 100,000 short, I think, of maxing it out. So,
Wow.
but I'm gonna try to get it, and then I want to take on hardcore and whatever village of the shadow, whatever the hardest difficulty is.
Yeah.
Like, if I can't do it with an unlimited Magnum, then
The,
it's impossible.
I'm doing it on hardcore, and I'm like almost all the way through the castle, and I'm having zero difficulty like with the infinite shotgun. Like that's usually the weapon
Yeah.
like now that I had it, that's basically what I'm using.
Yeah.
The grenade launcher makes it even cheaper because it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna one shot this horde of enemies, just be done with it. But it was
Right.
yeah, the game is quite fun with that.
Well, so I started New Game Plus. First off, I think this is my second favorite Resident Evil behind 2 Remake. I do think, to me, it's not even close. I think this is the best story in an RE game yet. I was shocked, especially with how slow this game started for me, and I was just like, man, I don't know if I like this. And then it just kept getting better and better. I think the reason I do like it better than 7. I think the reason for that is it starts a little slow, but even when it gets super shooty at the end, when you're Chris, it feels like it makes sense. Whereas in Resident Evil 7, it was just like you're Ethan running through caves and there's just a billion molded and you just got to just run or shoot. And then there's the stuff on the boat. And I just feel like Village flowed better. And to me, this is my number 2 Resident Evil game. I'd put it above 4. I'd put it above 7. Now, I think the one that can take the cake for sure is when they do 4 remake, because the only issue I have with that game is just when I finally played it, however many years, 12 years after it came out or whatever it was tough to control. And if they just fix that and put a prettier coat of paint on it, that will be, I think that'll be my new number one. But man, this game was good. It was so good. And
So
I'm so glad that I went in with my hype kind of lowered. I think that made it more enjoyable. And especially because it started slow, I was like, man, I don't know. And then it just kept getting better and better and better and better.
I completely forgot about
I've-
this game up until about 3 days before it came out, to be honest. Because I've just been like up to my eyeballs in work, to be honest. So I haven't really had a
Yeah.
lot of chance to like think like, when I get home, I want to play something stupid like World of Warships where I could just like sit around and blow other ships up. So like this game, like I want to say like I saw it on like one of your two like Twitter feeds or something and went, oh right, that's coming out on Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So like I didn't have a
I've
lot of
come
time to
around.
have spoiled or have
I
the
do
hype.
actually think now that it's better than 7.
Now,
I was on the fence before, and I think 7 will always be very special. Like I think what 7 did is just unreal, and I've never experienced anything like that in a game
Yeah.
before.
So
But
I'll agree with
this-
you on that because
it's
seven
it's just more fun.
yeah. So 7 to me like scared the ever living crap out of me in certain parts of it.
Yeah, 7
This
was
game-
sometimes too stressful to play.
yeah.
Right. This game, that one level, the dollhouse.
Yep.
Yes.
But other than that, like I had so much fun playing this game. To me, it's like I would put it no lower than third.
I think it's third for me. I think it's behind 2
Yeah.
remake, and I think it's behind 4.
Yeah,
But it's been so long since I've played 4 now.
I would say I was thinking this the other day, and it's like I think that this game is essentially if 4 and 7 had a baby,
Yep.
right? Like
Yep.
that's what this game feels like to me. And I think it's better gameplay than either of them, but I think I like 4 more. I mean, obviously 4 is my favorite Resident Evil game, except for maybe this one. And I've played 4 on GameCube, PS2. I've played that at least 6 times all the way through
Yeah.
on 6 different systems.
The funny thing when y'all are talking about going back New Game Plus, so I started New Game Plus. I was running through it and I was like, when the hell can I see Duke? I can't even remember. And I finally get to him and I'm like, okay. And then I go to the challenges and stuff. I'm like, damn it, I don't have enough challenge points for unlimited ammo on anything. I think I'm just going to walk away right now.
So
'Cause I
on your
suck at
second
them.
playthrough,
Yeah.
without even really trying, you just start racking up the challenge points because you get them for like kill so many enemies with a pistol, kill so
they
many
alert
enemies
you?
with a shotgun.
Not until you pause, until you
When
back out of the
you,
game.
when
It's-
you unlock things during the game, you just hit options, go to challenges, and it'll
Okay.
pop up with anything you've unlocked since
Okay.
the last time you checked. But I've got like, I think I'm around 200,000 right now.
Damn.
And I think the unlimited Magnum is like 130 or 140,000, I think. So I've got more than enough for that. But there's some things I was like, ooh, I got to remember to do that. I got to remember to do this. But so there's some that I've gone out of my way to do. But for the most part, you just kind of get a lot of them. But
Right.
they add up quick.
Yeah, I'm just concerned about the top end of them because, like, if you want to unlock as many guns as you want, like, there's no real way to grind out more challenge points from what I can find. Like, you just have to like finish all the challenges.
Yeah.
There's 70 of them, but I'm not sure how many that equates to like the max you can have without going and adding them all up.
Right. Well, all right. So let's get into. Let's do this first. What did y'all think about the 4? And obviously there were some sub bosses, but the 4 main bosses. So we had Thirsty Vampire Lady.
Dimitrescu.
We had Lady Dimitrescu, whatever the hell her name is. Donna Benviento. Did I say that right?
Beneviento.
Beneviento.
Yeah, I don't even try that. I just say dollhouse woman or dollhouse doll.
Right. Moreau. and
Moreau and
Heisenberg. What
so
did you
I
think?
first of all, I like this new precedent that they're setting. And I had to go back and remember, but I guess 7 did the same thing. How they now have almost feels like Metal Gear Solid or something with like the rogues gallery, as opposed to just, you're going to fight a Titan at the end. There's probably like a big spider and a big other thing during the game. But like, I like how they actually have like character bosses now. I like that a lot. I mean, and this game nailed it, I think, better than 7. I think Dimitrescu, Moreau, and Heisenberg. I guess Dimitrescu and Moreau were kind of just both the same as far as I'm concerned. Just
Moreau was
bullet
blah.
sponge, just lay into them until they die.
I love the characters. I hated the boss fights, but I
just
love
think the boss
characters.
fights were So Heisenberg was cool with the whole like Metal Gear and driving a tank thing. Like that was cool.
Mhm.
Did you guys see that it was like a bicycle? It had bicycle handles on the front, and it was like a bicycle steering wheel. It was like a tricycle,
I didn't
like a
even
motorized
notice.
tricycle.
No,
is what it
that's
was.
awesome.
Like I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it until my second playthrough, and I'm just like looking at the front of that, going. I mean, my first playthrough was like, "Wow, that thing's cool. It's got a rocket launcher and a machine gun and a chainsaw." Like what? And then I was like, the second look through, I'm like, "Oh wow, that's actually a tricycle with like metal things welded to it." It's really kind of interesting the depth that they went into with some of these things.
I was texting Sean when I got to that point. First off, that's when the reveals start with Chris and everything. But then I was like, wait a minute, dude, am I going to drive this effing tank? Are you serious right now? And I got in that thing and I was like, okay, this might be my favorite Resident Evil now. This is so absurd and so stupid, but so freaking amazing at the same time. I loved it. But yeah, I think Lady Dimitrescu, of course, obviously, like we talked about in the podcast, they way overblew her in the marketing. Everybody just got they got their skivvies in a twist. I don't even know if that's a saying. Looking at this 10-foot tall lady with big boobs and a big butt, and they were like, "Ooh, I love you, even though you'll kill me in a second." Whatever. She was overblown in the marketing. I thought she was fine. She's no Mr. X for sure. There will never be another Mr. X.
They definitely channeled him a lot when they designed her. The one complaint I have about that whole sequence with her is not so much the boss fight with her, like her character or whatnot. It's the whole slicing off of Ethan's hand and then him gluing it back on with first aid.
It's the mold. It's the mold, man.
It's like, wow.
Yeah, I do like that they went back and kind of, I don't know if they retconned it. Like, I wonder how much of this game was already in the works when they did 7, or if they were like, how do we make this memorable? Oh, I know, Ethan is actually dead and he's just made of mold. And if he's made of mold, then we can say, okay, that explains why he's able to just always heal himself with first aid.
But it's also super.
I wonder if they had that planned all along, or
I almost feel like it's almost just a video game commentary. Also, it's so meta to me that it's, you know what I mean? It's like, what are you doing? I mean, Trevor Belmont's eating wall meat and stuff. By the way, Castlevania, Sean, have you started it?
No.
It is amazing. I think it's my favorite.
It came out till next week.
No, it came out today, and I've already finished it. And I think it's my favorite season. It's
the whole season.
I finished the whole season.
Did you work today?
Yeah, of course. I worked and I had it on. And I'm going to go back and watch it again, probably tomorrow. But yeah, it is.
How many episodes?
10.
Oh, wow.
It is amazing. Yeah, I think it's my favorite season. But anyways, what the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, like Trevor Belmont's eating wall meat and stuff. Like I think it was some commentary there too. But another thing, and I didn't come up with this, I saw in one of the spoiler videos that I was watching after I beat it. Stuff starts to make sense, especially with the vampires. First off, the fact that her daughters were just flies, like imitating a human or something, was so freaky. But remember, and again, I didn't come up with this, I found it in a video, but when they first bite him, or one of the sisters attacks him, or maybe it was Dimitrescu, I can't remember who, but they're like, oh man, his blood's starting to go stale. It's starting to go stale because he's dead.
Yeah, she says, one of the daughter or sisters, whatever they were, says, "Oh, mother said you tasted stale, but I think you taste great, or something like that. But yeah, that didn't even register.
Now that you say that,
I'm
like,
sure.
yeah.
And also they
Right.
always refer to him as a man thing. So, but I think they were reaching on that one. I don't think Dimitrescu or any of the sisters knew about him and all of his powers. It seems like Heisenberg was probably only the one
So-
that may have known, but I don't even know that
No,
he
I
did.
think they all knew.
Okay.
because
Because
of the mold. The mold is
Yeah.
like this whole like neural network.
Oh, that's
and
right.
they're all the mold, so they all know. Like they all know what happened in Louisiana, and so I think they all knew. And
That makes
I,
sense.
I,
yeah.
it's probably Dimitrescu or some of the other witches or whatever. But throughout the game, some of them always are talking about, oh, I guess the stories about you are true, and you just kind of rub it like, oh, who cares? What are you even talking about? Whatever. But then once you know, it's like, oh, that's what they were talking about. They didn't know. So
I still can't believe that when they cut his hand off, like the Lycan attack, I was like, whatever, that it was a jump scare. But then when you just see out of nowhere her giant claws just slight and
Well,
it just
don't
slowly
even see
falls
that.
off. Oh,
I literally just did that sequence
Okay.
like 10 minutes ago, and it's like there's a hand, and then you see
it's
something
just
come
like a
out.
flash, and then
It's just a flash, and then
Yeah.
then your arm falls away, and the hand's still there, and you go. And it made me think of the first time I played it, and went, "Are you what? What? Can I shoot now?" Like,
yeah, yeah. I was like, well, what the hell do I do? Yeah,
yeah. Like Sean texted me when he got to that point. He was like, "What do I do?" Like, you just have to run. You can't.
I was like,
shoot. You
oh,
can't
she
even-
just
You
choke
don't
slammed
have a
me
hand.
through the floor.
yeah.
And now I'm in the basement. Oh, ha ha ha. And then I'm like, oh crap, she's here. What do I do? And he's like, just run, just stay away from her. Okay. She just cut off my hand. What do I do?
I was like, I was trying so hard when you texted me to like, oh God, please don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Right.
Don't spoil it.
So what else? I thought the dollhouse. Let's talk about the damn
Oh.
dollhouse, because it was freaky enough. But then I don't even remember what Sean told me, but he's like, there's that this part, and I knew there was something I had seen. I didn't have anything spoiled for me about this game, thank God. But
Yeah,
I had seen people on Twitter talking about the dollhouse, and Sean's like, "Ooh, there's a really freaky part that's kind of like PT." I was like, "It's with the dolls, isn't it?" But he didn't. I didn't know a friggin' baby, mutant giant baby that ate me 4 or 5 times was going to be at the end of this umbilical cord or intestines or whatever the hell it was. It was just one of the most horrifying, not scary, but horrifying things I've ever seen, especially because they take away your damn weapons. Like, you got nothing. All you can do is run. And when you get to the last part, when I was doing the, put the fuse, finally got the power back on, go this way. Oh crap, it's here. I'm like, I don't know how to get away from this thing. And I finally just ran in. I hid under the bed. It came in. I was like, okay, I'll go out now. Except I went under the bed when you first come into the room. So for me to get out, I had to go
So you're
backwards.
facing the wrong way.
Yeah. So it took me
Yeah.
so long. And by the time I got out, he was just.
So I actually got lucky enough to not die to him because, like, I've played so many Resident Evil games at this point where it's like you kind of can feel when something's gonna
Yeah.
happen, right? And you're following the umbilical cord and you go down the end of like you get to the last hall where the elevator is, and you're like, I stopped like in game like 6 inches before it would have triggered him to come towards me. And I'm going, there's got to be something here.
Yeah.
And I took like one step forward, and like I just saw the like face of the mutated baby, and I said nope and ran the heck away because I was just like, and I actually like I got when we were exploring the room initially, and I was like, well, this is a closet. I opened up the closet, I'm like, you expect something to be, there's nothing in here, like what? And I'm like, and I think I accidentally just walked into it. I'm like, that's interesting. And I turn around and says close the door. So I'm standing there like with the door closed going,
I did see that. Yeah.
that's weird. So then like,
Wait,
when
so there's a closet you can hide in?
I
Yeah, so
didn't
there's-
go in it, but I did see, like it said
I
on
never
the
saw
inside.
it.
two of them.
Yeah, on the inside it said push X to close or whatever. I was like,
So
that's
there's
weird.
one in the
Oh,
medicine room
huh.
that like, so like if you the room you start in, like there's the one room that you unlock with the door that you get from the
Yeah,
doll's
yeah.
arm or whatnot. In there's a closet you can hide in. And then there's also a closet in the
I totally
bedroom.
missed that.
Like, so when you go explore the bedroom
Hmm.
for the first time, it's like, huh, you can crawl under the bed. And then I look at the closet and go, okay, there's another closet here, so I can run back here at some point.
I missed the closet
Interesting.
in the bedroom. I didn't see that one. That would have helped. That probably would have made it easier than crawling out from under the bed. But it was so well done. I was just like, man. And of course, it just because I'm a Kojima guy, it just made me think, man, what was Kojima actually going to do with Silent Hills? But obviously, we'll never see it. And then the boss fight.
The boss
didn't.
fight.
Yeah,
The boss fight was kind of nice
die.
because it's just like,
just
yeah,
run around.
I haven't
and find
died
her.
to that one. It's nice. It's just like, okay, you guys made it through that. Here's an easy boss fight. You just got to find it a few times and that's it. So
Yeah,
So the
I
funny
was
part
kind of
about that,
appreciative of it.
yeah.
so the first time I'm running around trying to find the doll, like, so the first two are kind of scripted, like where they go, like they go to the same, she goes to the same first two spots every
Okay.
time. I think, at least based on my experience of fighting that twice already, the first two spots were the same. And then the third one is like, I don't know if it's random or it's like a timed based thing. So like the first fight, I'm just like, I'm running through every single room in the damn house trying to find the thing, and I couldn't find her. And eventually I like looked it up online because I'm like, I'm getting sick of running around this damn house. And like, because if you time out, the dolls start attacking you.
Yeah.
Or like, and like in these weird like octopus spider thing, it's kind of creepy. But I finally got sick of it, and I was just like, because that level creeped me out more than any video game I've ever played in my life.
Yeah.
Took the champ from like one of the Silent Hill games. But anyway, so I'm like running around and I look it up on the guide, and it's like apparently like in the guide, the person had found it like right in front of the elevator. And I like kept running in front of the elevator. She's not here. She's not here. So then my second playthrough, I'm just like running around everywhere, like with actually paying attention better, because I also played that level at like 10 o'clock at night the first time. Which probably added to the scariness factor, to be honest.
Mhm.
And I found her in like one of the other rooms the second time. So it's like it's almost like either it's on different difficulties, she's in different spots, or she's in different spots based on time, or that kind of thing. So it freaked me out. And the first time I didn't even hit her I didn't even stab her because my game screwed up.
Oh,
So it was like it like went to go stab her, and like you could like this with a pair of scissors, and it's like, and then the game crashed. It was like, so I had to like
jeez.
redo part of it. It was really kind of annoying.
So yeah, it was awesome. I really liked the castle, but the whole set piece, or whatever you would call it, for the whole dollhouse was just freaking awesome. It was so well done. And
It was so disturbing, but yeah, they nailed
Yeah.
it. It was,
It
I
was,
hated it, but I loved it.
yeah.
what did I say to you, Sean? It was like the person that thought that one up, or that thought the big mutated baby up, either needs to get fired or a massive raise.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't know how
Because-
you
Yeah, whoever. Ugh.
It was like, wow, like that. Like I couldn't even look at the full thing. Like I saw the face and turned around and ran.
and then you
Like-
add in
Yeah.
the baby laughing and the goo-goos and the
Yeah.
gagas and stuff, and it's just like,
Or,
this is the
like-
most terrifying thing ever.
So both times I played through the game, I've hidden in the closets, and it's like, I don't know how when you're hiding under the bed, but when you're hiding in the closets, you can see the face of it. So like you can
Oh,
like
see, when you hide
can,
under
like,
the bed, you just see the feet walk by.
Yeah.
yeah.
and
So like you
then-
can see like this part of it, like going like this, and it's like, oh my god.
Oh, I really just got chills. That's disgusting. Blah. But yeah, I did appreciate that the actual boss fight wasn't much of a boss fight. That was nice after the stress of all of that, all the puzzle solving and the baby and all that. It was appreciated. So then from there we go to Moreau, and I did not know at first. Maybe I'm just one of them dumb kids. I didn't know that he was the fish, the giant fish at first.
I didn't at first
So-
initially, but it was definitely like pretty.
Once we got to the point when he took his robe off or whatever, I was like, oh damn, he's transforming, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think you see the fish,
Mhm.
you see Moreau, and then you see the fish. But then you see Moreau again, I'm pretty sure. So it's almost like he goes back and forth.
Yeah, you see it
And then
again.
he
Yeah.
eventually just yeah. So I thought he was the fish, but then I was like, oh wait, there he is. I guess he's not the fish. But then later it's like, no, he was the fish. He just turned back and now he turned back again. But
He was
Yeah.
disgusting. That dude, and when he took his robe off or whatever, didn't he have an eye on his hunchback or something?
Yeah. Did you guys when you got jumping forward, when you guys were playing as Chris, when you guys went into the lab, did you read all 4 books?
Yes.
I think in one of
I think
them
I read all of them, man.
I think in one of them it explains that Moreau also can't control it, or he like can semi-control it.
Yeah.
So to me it was like,
He's like the Hulk.
yeah,
Yeah.
except for I forget if it was in his I forget if it was in one of those books or whatnot, but like his brain had like grown down the back of his like had like gone out the back of his head and like down his back. That's why the back of him looks like an exploded brain, because that's what it is.
Oh, wow.
Gross.
Yeah. How do you come up with these friggin' characters? That's what I don't understand.
You know, they hire some really twisted people in Konami apparently.
Yeah. Well, Capcom.
Or Capcom, sorry.
Did y'all have trouble when it came time to do the bridge puzzle thing where like this goes down, this goes up, this, you know what I mean? Where it was like blue, orange, and white switches
With the
you had
different
to
colors.
do.
Yeah.
I died like
I
5
died
times. at
one
that.
time there. Well, see, I died one time because the thing collapsed before I got to the
Yep.
end. I'm like, okay, so I guess they don't stay up the same. So I flipped them all and then I watched them. I'm like, okay, I don't remember which was which, but like, okay, orange stays up the least and green stays up the longest. So I'm going to hit green first and then blue and then orange last. And I just died the one time. And then once I figured out which one stayed up the shortest amount of time, I just made sure to pull that switch last and then just made it run for it. And it was fine.
I kept dying because I would try to go across and then pull the blue one and then go a little bit further and pull the orange one and then make a break for it. And I just kept it would collapse right as I got to it. And I was like, and then I just started getting frustrated. I died at least 4 or 5 times there and I was getting so pissed off.
I died 4 or 5 times there too, because I just wasn't quick enough.
Yeah.
Because it was more to like, I knew what I had to do to get to the platform where you had like the green, orange, and blue one. But I died like 2 or 3 times getting there because it was like, I didn't realize that I thought, so in Resident Evil games, a lot of times you hit the button, the platform comes up and stays up until you do something else. In this one, it wasn't that, right? So like I was like, oh, okay, like push the button, go down there, and like all of a sudden I'm being eaten by a fish.
Yep. So then I'm glad I'm not the only one that had trouble with that, because that was driving me nuts. And I was like, I feel like I'm doing something. I'd be like, okay, let me do the white one first because that's the longest. And then I'll do blue, then orange, make a run for it. Then okay, never mind. I died. Okay, white. Then let's go orange, blue, or whatever was the opposite of what I just said. It just took me forever to get the right combination.
To rewind a bit, did you guys struggle at all in the very beginning when you're handcuffed with the little meat grinder thing? I died 7 times there. I couldn't figure out where to go.
I died.
I died. Check all the walls and see if I was missing something, and then it would kill me. And then I checked the walls over there, and there was nothing. And I'm like,
well, but then they also trick you.
Little nook in the corner. I'm like, oh,
they trick you because there's those supply crates too. So your eye goes to these crates with the yellow on them because you know you can break them, but they're just going to get broken by the thing. I died once, and then I was like, okay, let me try to think like a game designer. Okay, this thing, obviously I have to find a hole somewhere. And I just ran all the way to the wall. And I think I just turned to the left and saw the little alcove right before the thing killed me. I think it was just pure luck that I only died once, but
I think I died 5 times there before I finally found it.
When I did it, it was like the first time I'm in running away mode, right? So you're trying to run away from the things chasing you or whatnot down the gauntlet. And I'm running, and I'm like, and I get like 2/3 of the way to the spinning pendulum or the spinning thing of death, and went, okay, this is the problem, and turn and did like the tactical turn. And as you're turning, I saw the alcove, but I was distracted also by the one of the supply chests. So I'm like, oh, I can go grab that and go hide in the corner or something. I don't know. And I go get the thing and die. And I'm like, okay, let's not do that one again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Moreau. So you drain the dam. Well, I mean, you raise the dam, the water drains. This was, yeah, like you were saying, Sean, this boss fight was really just like Lady Dimitrescu Part 2. And I was just like, I didn't know where to go. I don't know if I'm hurting him. I don't know how to make the mouth open. It's like instead of shooting Dimitrescu on top of the dragon thing, you got to get this dude's mouth to open so you can see the head,
yeah,
and then shoot that. But I'm like, I do think, I mean, I don't want them to blink like they're like, turtles in time or something.
Right. I don't
like
need
that.
a health bar or anything like that. But
something.
it seems like some kind of sign that you're doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that screwed me, the thing that screwed me about that fight was just when he jumps up on top of the things and starts raining down acid.
rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I'm like, I'm trying to run around, get my bearings, figure out where all, like, the first time through a boss fight with Resident Evil, what do I usually do? I usually run around and try and find out where all the ammo pickups are.
Yeah.
So I know where they are and go pick up all the ammo.
Yep.
And I'm running around. I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, why am I dying? Like, what is going on here? So the first time I died was because of that. But the thing that screwed me with that was actually when he does that, he puts up walls of the like puke mold thing,
bubble goo. Yeah.
right? And it's like, if you're lucky enough, and I figured out, once you figured out how to beat that, like, it was like, oh, a lot of times when he does that, one of them will be within gun range of where you're hiding.
Okay.
You can just shoot it while he's still raining down acid. And once I figured that out, it got a little bit better, because it was just like, you could like put a mine down and just try and like lead him towards a mine. And when he got hit by the mine, just pop him.
I didn't use the mines enough until late in the game when I finally realized I should be using them. But that just made me think of one other thing when you said the ammo and stuff. I like one of the things they did in this game. Try not to burp. That like all your keys and like special items and stuff. Am I crazy? Or in past Resident Evils, didn't they go into your bag with all your ammo and guns? Yeah, I love that. That is such a good quality of life change. I never felt like, I mean, I upgraded my my suitcase twice, I think. Yeah. But I never felt like I was running out of space. I was so happy that they did that.
I'm running out of space more than now that I have infinite ammo for a lot of things than I'm running out of space for anything else. Yeah. I feel like that was feel like they added that in either 4 or 5, where you had like a key items category.
4. Oh, that.
Right, because I think 4 you had the valuables category, but you didn't have the like the keys still stay in your inventory, I thought.
But then see, the weird thing is that like your fish and your poultry and stuff goes in your suitcase. I'm like, why is this in there? Why isn't this?
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure in Resident Evil 2 remake and 3 remake, your keys showed up in your suitcase, because then you'd get the red X when you were done, and then you could discard them. Okay, I was just want to make sure I'm not crazy thinking of that.
They didn't change. That was from the original games, and those I don't believe they changed.
Okay,
like 1, 2, and 3 all had that. When they changed something, it was 4.
Okay,
and I think it was because they added the valuables but kept the keys in your bag, ish thing, and then your suitcase, I guess, in that one too.
Yeah,
and then I think in 5 it was just like they added a key items category and it went in there.
Okay,
but I could be wrong where the 4 and 5 change was.
But yeah, Moreau was just kind of whatever. I don't know if there's anything else in there I want to talk about.
I remember when I got to that area, I was like, oh my God, because I was looking at so I got in the boat, and then I was looking at the map, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, where do I even go? Like, this sucks. I hate this already. And then I just started going, and I found a little dock. I'm like, oh, I can get off here. And then that was that. I guess eventually I'm like, I guess I went to the right part, and that's all you have to do with the boat is go from here to here, and then you're done with it. But I thought it was going to be this whole thing where you have to navigate the whole map and the boat. And I'm just like, oh no. But yeah, it didn't end up being that bad.
So one thing that I noticed, and it drove me insane, is on my second playthrough, once you kill, like, so you get the flask from Moreau, and you kill the lichens, and then you get on the boat. Or you go to get on the boat, and then there's like the dock there. But if you like go to where the dock is, and you look to your left, there's a treasure chest that you can't get. That drove me insane.
You have to go back. you go back in basically after you beat him and you drain it. When you come back, you can walk down there and get it. It's like something. It's nothing. It's something you can sell. It's nothing important, but
Yeah, it just drove me insane because I'm like, I need to find this, and then I just gave up after like 20 minutes. But
yeah.
I got all the other treasures. So that one was driving me nuts.
There was one that I couldn't
Yeah.
figure out. I mean, I didn't get a lot of them because I got to the point where I was like, I just want to beat this now as quickly as I can before it gets spoiled. But there was some, like when you come out of the dollhouse, remember there was that big grave where
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have to put the doll treasure that I found there, but that wasn't it. I don't know
You
how
have to
get in
go
there.
back to the village. You remember in the graveyard, there was one little thing that had like a gate in front of it and you couldn't go through it? Like where all the tombstones and stuff are.
Okay.
Or maybe
yeah.
you didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Like when you're going on your way to the church.
Yeah.
For whatever
yeah.
reason, once you beat the dollhouse, you go back to the village and then that's open. And then you just go in there, you grab it. It's the other piece of the stone. You head back, you put it in there. And again, I think that also was just something that you can sell.
That was
but-
something very expensive. I remember telling you explicitly because that's one of the ones you can miss. A
yeah.
lot, like I think there's like there's like say 10 treasures or whatever, but only two or
Maybe it was the doll's head. Like you get a
no,
doll.
because
you
I
get
got
No,
the
you get-
dolls. I got the
you get
dolls
the
head,
less
so it
No,
wasn't
you
bad.
slab. You get a slab,
uh,
like a slab with someone's name on it.
well, right, but you use that to open up the grave, and then you get
Oh yeah.
so you get
it
the
wasn't
doll when
dolls-
you kill. You get like the doll when you kill
the
the
doll's
boss,
head
but
was
then
in
there's another doll that you can sell. You find a body and a head,
Yeah.
but you
so
got
the
both of
head
those,
for
Kevin?
that is in the well that's by past when you come out of the dollhouse, start going back. There's a well.
That's right.
You get it there.
Yeah.
But no, this was the it was one of the full size figurines. I forget the name of it. But it was like
Okay.
it was a doll, but it was just a valuable you could sell.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it now.
Yeah, I didn't get a lot of the treasures. Like I said, I was just trying to power through it. I was like, I don't want to, because I saw some people tweeting just saying that like a lot of y'all are like really just spoiling this game, and that's kind of messed up. And I'm like, man, I just need to beat this. I need to beat this as quick as I
Yeah.
can.
That's probably the reason why I played it so intensively. It was just like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you go from Moreau, and then we're like, hey, Ethan, my name's Heisenberg. Come over here. And then it's a trap, and you're in the lichen nest or whatever. I died 3-4 times. I was finally like, I'm sick of using my ammo. And I just ran. I fired a few shots to get through those first couple spaces until you get to the part where it's safe. And I did somehow I got the trophy completely out of luck for shooting an arrow out of the air. I did not try to do it.
Oh,
I just
really?
you have
I
to
just-
do it. You actually have to do it with your knife. You have to do it with a melee weapon.
Well, I don't know how the hell I got it then. There was pure luck. I don't know what I did.
Unless there's two of them. Well,
Maybe there is.
Okay, there might be
I
there's a
think there's just
trophy and a
one.
challenge. I think
Okay.
the trophy.
I got the
is-
trophy.
the trophy might be you just shoot something out of the air,
Okay.
but there's a challenge where you take a knife and you go and you try and knock a thing out of the air.
Yeah. No, I'm not trying to do that. But that
There's
was
actually a trick to that area.
really
So the first stairs so when you go into the stronghold, right?
right.
That first area is a save point,
Right.
right? So when you go down the stairs, and most it's a secret about most Resident Evil games, right? What doesn't happen in any save point areas? Enemies can't go there,
Right.
right? So if you go down the stairs and it opens up into where the lichens are,
Mhm.
they'll come to you, but if you go far enough up the stairs, they'll just go away. So what you
Okay.
do
Like
is you
they
go
just
down the bottom of the stairs,
despawn,
put
or-
mines, and go back up and stand there until they come towards you and start backing up. They'll come up, blow themselves up, and they'll walk away. And you go back down and keep doing this. And that's an easy way to save ammo.
Huh.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just kept dying, so I finally said, "The hell with this! I'm gonna run."
Yeah,
And then
I mean,
I ran.
it only works to a certain point because there's like the rooms like in thirds on that one level. So
Mhm.
it only works on the first third and like maybe the second. You can't really leash them towards you on the after that.
Okay.
And then after that, you could probably run through it after that, but it's a good way to save ammo. You just put a mine down and it blows up 2 or 3 of them at a time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I never got the trophy. I think there was a trophy for killing 3 at once or something, or 3 with 1 shot or something. I never got that.
I got that. I don't remember how I did it.
I saw some people online with like one of the spoiler videos I was watching for some reason was talking about the sniper rifle and how they were just lining up shots and just shooting three at
That's
once.
insane.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like as much as I played first person shooters in my life, like I've never had the patience to try and do that kind of thing.
Yeah. Especially when they move as fast and everything. But so we go through the stronghold and then we fall down and that's when we fight Urias or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Okay.
That fight, that was actually I really liked that fight from a challenge perspective because it sucked,
Yeah.
honestly, because it was like
I was running out of ammo after the stupid lichen
Yeah,
den
that's
area. I was like, that's
Thank
when I
God
think
I
I started
ran,
using
yeah.
mines. I'm like, I'm running out of stuff to use. I just started dropping mines and luring them
So-
over to them. And
I ended up using I think all my Magnum ammo there
I did too.
the first playthrough because it was just like, well, because at one point he like goes up and like at several different points he goes up and like summons the lichens,
Yeah.
right? But if you hit him with the Magnum or if you hit him enough while he's doing that, he doesn't summon anything.
Yep.
But that does also that he summons it to give you more ammo, basically,
Yeah.
or crafting materials so you can get ammo.
Well, that's a good point. That was one of the things I thought when I was playing through this is it's like, do you want to save ammo or do you want to use your ammo to shoot the enemies, kill them, and either get lay or gunpowder and chem fluid and everything? It's like it's such a balance. Like, what do I don't know what to do. But if you're like
I always
me,
go with option 2.
Yeah.
Because it's like at that point, like with those guys, especially the lichens, you can one shot with a shotgun.
Yep.
Right.
Just hit him in the head.
And
Yeah.
any of the shotguns will hit him. If you hit him in the head, it kills
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're better off doing that just to get like one shotgun shell. Like, you make 3 at a time.
Yeah.
So that's what I usually do.
Sean, when I saw you reply to Altano's tweet about the camera settings and stuff, I didn't even know that the aim acceleration or whatever was a thing. But once you said that, I was like, oh, that's why it feels floaty when I'm trying to aim. And so I went in, turned it off.
So before I got too far into the game, I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it. And I was looking for it. And then once I saw that aim acceleration or whatever, I'm like, this has to be it. And I like turned it down some. I'm like, okay, that's better. And then I turned it all the way down. I'm like, okay, that's much better. But I hated it.
Yeah.
I didn't have any problem. I played on PC, so I didn't really have any. I usually play games on my PC with an Xbox controller.
Okay.
But I didn't have any of that issues. Like I usually I had the sensitivity pretty well dialed down.
But yeah, the Urias, do we know how to say it? Did they actually say his name in the game? Is it Urias or Urias? Do we know what the hell his name is?
I don't think they ever speak it.
Okay.
I don't even think they like I think the only reason you know his name is from the trophies.
Right.
I don't think I literally don't think that there's any like documents about him or anything.
Okay.
I didn't see any.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I finally did to beat him was I went through my Magnum rounds, some pipe bombs, and I had at that point 8 or 10 or something explosive rounds, and I was just laid into him.
Yeah. I used all my Magnum and all my I think I actually used all my shotgun, all my Magnum, and all of my grenade launcher ammo.
Yeah.
In that fight. I didn't have a lot of shotgun shells left after the initial lichen fight.
Yeah, when I first got into the factory, I was like, oh God, there's all these dudes on conveyor belts and stuff, and I don't feel like I am
the factory. Like I both love and hate the factory.
Yeah.
Like it's like
it wasn't nearly as bad the second time through. Obviously, I mean,
right,
upgraded. I got plenty of ammo and stuff, whatever. But like, I don't know. Once I've been through it once, it seems a lot more straightforward. The map is still a little confusing. Like there are times where you look at one floor and it looks like this room touches that floor, or it touches this room. But when you're actually there, it's actually stairs, and so you're going down to a different floor. And so I'm trying to look at the map. I'm like, I want to go from here to there. So I go through there, but then all of a sudden I'm in a different part of the map. I'm like, what is happening? But I eventually figured it out. But
yeah, that one's annoying. Actually, before we get too far away from it, did you guys do the cannibal extra boss? Like there's a the reason why I bring it up is like before you go to the stronghold, instead of going directly. Here's a stronghold. You go right straight ahead.
The giant
It-
werewolf thing.
well, no, there's a giant werewolf there too. But if you go to the left, there's like this big building, right? And you go in there and you fight one of those big giants.
Oh yeah. The mill or whatever.
Yeah, but it's like basically like
Yeah.
if you need more like if you need more
You
meat,
can
that's
just
the
pick up a
place to
bunch of
get it.
meat.
Yeah, but it was like
Yeah.
that. I found that there's two of them that I found. Those big giant guys, right? One guards the one treasure in the graveyard by the dollhouse, right? And the other one is this guy, and they suck. Like I find them,
Yeah.
other than Urias, one of the harder like
Oh,
non
are you
major
talking about
bosses.
the armored werewolf guys?
No,
No,
No.
I don't think I fought any of these things.
yes, they're completely optional.
Okay.
They're basically like
Yeah, so the one you missed because you never went back to the grave
mhm.
by the dollhouse.
Okay.
And then this one you missed, it's one of the treasure chests that you can't get until you're on your way to the stronghold.
Okay.
There's like you take a side path to go towards the treasure chest, and yeah, it's like an old mill, like he's basically like a butcher or something. I don't know, he's just like killing animals and stuff. I don't really know, but yeah, he's a big dude with a giant axe or something, and he's similar to Urias. It's just a real big dude.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that particular fight, like the first time I played the game, like I played my first two playthroughs around the same difficulty. And then the second time I had a heck of a lot of problems with him for some reason. He just like I got too cocky, I think, and I got too close to him. And he can almost one-shot you. Like Urias can't quite do that. I don't think I ever got close to being one-shot by him. But like those fights were tough. Those two extra boss fights. But the first one you can cheese just like the or similarly to the way I said about cheesing them in the stronghold. Like another set of stairs. You go down the stairs and you activate the hill giant to come at you, and you run back up the stairs, and he'll chase you up the top stairs, but no further than the top of the stairs, and he'll go back down. So a way to cheese that is just to stand, like you go to the top of the stairs and you hit him you peg him with a sniper rifle as he's coming towards you and run away. And he goes back down and just keep doing that.
I'm just looking this thing up now. Come on, ads.
It looks like a giant ogre, like a hill giant kind of thing. Actually, you know what it reminds me of? It's the hill giant magic.
Holy crap. That is a big axe. Oh, and of course you get a crystal and everything.
Yeah, you get a
wow.
Yeah, you get some good loot.
I want to say that's one of the better pieces of loot to get.
Wow.
Those axes.
Nope, completely missed that. Damn it. Oh well.
The other thing that you can miss there that I saw was, did you guys see the goat hanging on the girders when you're in the factory? You know how you can shoot the little goats that are all over the place?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you're going, I forget I think it's between the top two floors of Duke's elevator. If you're looking at Duke and you look to the left, right, you go between the two floors, you'll see a goat on one of the cross beams.
Okay.
And I just happened to notice it, and I did that. I went up and down that elevator 7 times trying to shoot that thing.
You need like bullet time or something to make that shot. That just made me think of something. I did not know the big like that area where there's these big piston things doing this. That was before I realized that you can shoot the red lights to turn stuff off. So I'm just trying to.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I just
didn't know that at all.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
my second playthrough. I didn't know that.
Got close to one and waited and let them, the guys would keep coming up to me. I would just let those things keep killing them, whatever.
Yeah,
I
did
would
that.
just time it and try to run by.
I
did
hit.
Exactly what Sean
I did not know you could stop them.
I didn't either until I watched this video. I got past the first 2 without getting hit, and then like I think there was 3 more, and they all hit me. I thought I was timing it right, and I was like, "I'm okay. I guess I got to use my first aid medicine now." Like, yeah, because I don't think at that point, I don't think you've done any of the doors with the red lights to unlock them. So I don't think you know that if there's a red light, shoot it or knife it or something. So
Yeah, I didn't
I
even look, to be
distinctly,
honest.
yeah, I remember seeing the red lights, but I just never put two and two together. Like, oh, I could shoot those.
yeah,
Yeah, I just
Uh,
like, I actually like, after I figured out you could shoot those, I thought to myself, I'm like, well, that isn't as fun as shooting the zombies and letting the things hit the zombies. Because that's
Right.
exactly what I
Yeah.
did. Like, I just, hit them with like a pistol round, made them come towards me and just watched the like hit them all over
Yeah.
and over again and just laughed. But yeah, that one was just annoying.
and then so what was the boss? Was that chainsaw head?
That was
Helicopter
propeller
guy?
head.
Yeah.
That's propeller head.
So he was the boss.
Sturm or something.
Yeah.
Strum or something like that. When he first
Yeah.
is like, yeah, screw you, you didn't take my offer, and he kicks you down there, and you see that thing. I was just like, I guess I should just quit now because I don't know what the hell this thing is. I ran away from him. I got to the dead end. He killed me twice at the dead end before I looked down to see that there's the little chute or whatever that you can jump down. But that was terrifying. Like, again, how do these people come up with this crap? I think that might be the thing that now somebody's trying to sue Capcom or something, saying they stole the
Yeah,
idea.
it's some character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It, the people that come up with a game for these like survival horror games, the people that come up with the enemies for these are just like, there's something wrong with them.
Yes.
Like, just head and shoulders above, like, Silent Hill, the Pyramid Head guys.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
I could never in a million years come up with anything close to this stuff. I wouldn't even know where to start. I just don't have, I don't have that in my brain to do.
My brain just doesn't work that way.
No.
So it's,
but I like the part of the factory where you had to get the molds. So you make, I think, like an emblem for a door, and then you can make Heisenberg's key, and there's the cog to get the generator.
there's one more.
Yeah.
And then there's the ball for the
ball
thing.
But I just, at that point, I was like, I just want to beat this game. I ain't doing no more labyrinth puzzles. I just I want to get to the end.
I like those puzzles.
I think I did three.
I like the
of
idea
them.
of them, but I wish you could move the camera. Like, you can tilt
Up
the
a
thing,
little bit, and
you
some
can
and one of the
rotate
angles,
around
yeah.
the sides. If you could just have a free camera so I could actually see where the ball is and what I'm trying to avoid, like, it would be so much better. But half the time it just, like, I fall off the edge or through a hole or something. I'm like, I don't even know what happened. I can't see where my ball is. And
It reminded me of some of the
in theory, but
yeah, they reminded me of some of the motion shrines in Breath of the Wild that I ended up just getting lucky, to actually get through them. But
actually, it's funny. Like, the one I had the most trouble with was the first one.
Oh yeah, me too.
Everything.
the second
second
and
one I
third
know.
ones I thought were easy. The first one I struggled with a little bit. The fourth one I hated. But
The fourth one I didn't. The fourth one I figured out pretty quickly, but it was like, the first one I knew what I had to do. I just couldn't execute. The
Yeah.
fourth one was just like trying to figure out exactly what you had to do, and it was like, that one reminded me of the perpetual motion machine at the Salmon Run Mall for some reason.
Salmon Run Mall.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome.
It just did. Like, I couldn't. I saw it, and like, I was like, before I even got the ball, I'm like looking at it going like, God, this reminds me of the thing from the Salmon Run Mall.
So yeah, so then the propeller man fight, I died 2 times. I think it might have been 3 times, but I finally got the hang of realizing what walls he can break through, how you can dodge him to make him miss and hit a wall, and then you can shoot his red light. Again, the red lights. I was using mines to stun him and then get behind him. Again, I was just most of my crafting towards like the last probably quarter of the game, I was like explosive rounds. I never even used flashbangs. I think I might have missed out on something there, but
I
use them in the factory a lot.
Okay.
The guys that have the red light on the back or whatever,
Yeah.
I would flashbang them, run around, and just shoot them in the back.
So I used my second playthrough on Propeller Dude. The flashbangs are incredibly effective against him because it just distracts him and he like runs off into a wall.
Okay.
So it was like, oh, why didn't I think of this the last time I played this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then after that, is that when we get the last vial or whatever the last
You actually,
flask?
so you
Yeah.
actually you have the last flask to.
Well, no,
enable
you've already
for.
got it. That's how you get to the factory.
Right.
Yeah, you get
Oh,
the
yeah, that's
last
right.
one at the end of the stronghold.
Right.
As
That's
a-
when you go. You see Heisenberg again. He like throws you down another chute or whatever. So you go all the way back to the bottom, and then you find Chris.
And get
So-
the freaking tank.
As
Yeah.
a quick tangent, the whole idea of having the kid in a flask freaked me out.
Yeah.
By the way,
But so
Yeah,
so
when he was like, "Oh, you already found her," and he's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, look at that flask," and then he's like, wipes it head. I'm like, "Oh, come on!" It's
no, I
like,
was like, thank God they didn't show
So-
anything that's actually
Yeah.
in there. But
yes.
I think the game told me, or one of the videos I watched, that it wasn't actually her head. It was her head crystallized or something. And then because she was, so molded from her two parents, that she could crystallize her, pull it apart, and put it back together again. But the whole ritual thing, I don't like. You already have
Yeah.
a baby. I don't understand why you
I
had
don't
to
get that.
crystallize.
well, yeah, you
her.
had the baby. Why did you? Yeah, I don't know.
That one was like, so I think I texted you, like, let me know when you get past the first boss and you're going back to the village, because that's when you find that out. And it freaked me out
Yeah,
so bad for some reason. Like, there's certain things that are like trigger buttons for me, and that's one of them. It's like anything to do with children.
Yeah.
Like,
Decapitating babies.
And
Yeah.
putting them in a flask. Yeah.
yeah,
And crystallizing them. Well, and you don't even know about the crystallizing stuff until like the end, but
Right.
yeah, it's like how big of, like, it's a video game, so how big of a flask is it? Is it like the baby head in a,
right.
and like, actually, I think if you examine it, rotate it just right, you can like see something in the flask.
Duh. And then there's
Um,
there was torso, legs, and what was it? Was it arms, or what was the other one?
Arms.
I think it was, yeah.
arms. Okay.
Arms.
Blech. Oh, God, I guess that's all that's left. Head, torso, legs, arms. Yeah.
I mean, you're also talking,
yeah,
it's
that's
like
everything.
it's like a month-old child, so it's like, or
Yeah.
a couple-month-old child, you know.
Yeah. So then you get knocked down there, and that's when all the reveals start. And I was
That's
like,
when
because
all-
Oh
yeah.
God.
that's
I
when I was
love
like,
this part of the
Sean,
game.
I was like, I know there's no way. I said from the beginning, I was like, either this is all a VR simulation, or that wasn't Chris, or something. But there's no way Chris just friggin' destroyed Mia and shot her 15 times. But
Yeah.
when all that starts, I'm like, whoa, okay. First, I texted Sean. I was like, haha, I called it. I knew that wasn't Mia. But oh no, because earlier you're reading a note somewhere that says something about how she can mimic. She has mimicry or something. And I was like,
Yeah.
there you go. I mean, that it was obvious at that point,
Yeah.
but still. So what does Chris tell us at that point?
Chris
He's-
tells us that basically, like, hey, Miranda's a bad person, for lack of a better term, and like she's hit, she pretended to be Mia, and that's who I shot, blah blah blah. And
Yeah, basically that wasn't Mia, and don't try to kill her because you'll get your butt.
you'll
kicked.
lose.
Let us handle it. Whatever. Yeah.
And this part, like, I the line I said to Sean was like, this part has more twists than a mountain road, because it really is
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
just nonstop from that point on.
For, like, the
you
next
drop down,
hour,
you see
yeah.
Chris is like, oh my God, I'm gonna be fighting Chris Redfield, is the opposite. Like, oh my God. And then it's like, oh no, that's not Mia. And then you fight Heisenberg, and then, oh my God, Miranda pulls your heart out. Like, what is going on?
Well, but also the
That yeah.
one of the only problems I have with the story, other than, I mean, it's ridiculous, whatever, but I love the story. But the one problem I have is why at the beginning, because again, when I did New Game Plus, I just really played through the first 45 minutes or so. It doesn't make any sense why after Chris kills, quote unquote, Mia, why the hell wouldn't he just tell Ethan then? Why wouldn't he just say, hey,
So
that wasn't
They
Mia?
talk about it in the game,
yeah, they do.
but he
Like,
basically just says, "I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to get involved."
But
But
if you
but he
just
wouldn't
tell
have
him
gotten
his
involved
wife's okay,
if he knew it
Exactly.
wasn't actually Mia. He would have been like, "Oh, well, I don't care." Then yeah. So
But then I think the only thing
Yeah.
the only thing I can think of is then he would say, well, where the hell is Mia? And he would say, well, this crazy witch lady has her. And then he would get involved. I guess that's it.
I could see that as
Yeah.
part of the logic, but it was also like, later when you're playing as Chris, it's like, one of the squad members like, you should have told him.
Yeah.
You really should have told him. Did I say you should have told him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I think he literally said it like 3 times.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
One of the other things I noticed when I was going through the beginning, I can't remember if it's Ethan or Mia when it's still Mia. It's in the beginning, but it's a flashback or something when they say the doctor called about the results. They want us to come in and talk about Rose. And I was like, he called about the results.
That was in the dollhouse, right?
That was
In those like audio
because I
recordings
saw
that
it.
kept playing.
I saw it back at I saw it when I restarted the game. So it was definitely at the beginning.
Really?
It was when it's when they knock Ethan out and they're transporting him and he wakes up
That's
to the
right,
phone
yeah.
ringing.
Yep.
That's when that was.
Yeah. So it's like obviously they wanted because they're like, what the hell is wrong with this baby? She has mold for blood or something. I don't know. And then so then I remember seeing it and Chris starts the reveals, but I'm like, this is crazy. But also, what the hell is that vehicle he has over there? Because I want that thing. And then, like I said earlier, oh my God, we get to actually pilot this thing. And I had to look at the controls on screen for so long. So I was like, wait, there's 2 R2s. I'm confused. And L1 blocks. And I was like, I went to block and it's just a giant chainsaw. I was like, this is so freaking awesome.
I never used the block, not once.
I did when
I didn't even know it existed until the second playthrough, to be honest. I literally just went into that holding down the machine gun.
Yeah.
And then like whenever I wanted to hit it, like hit the other key to hit the cannon. Like I just was like full on like Apocalypse Now, like machine gunning everything.
I did the block while I was waiting for the rockets or whatever to recharge. I would hold block and then just keep shooting the machine gun. So I'm looking through.
Yeah, because you can hold
chainsaw.
block and just keep shooting at the same time. So yeah.
But that was like something out of Metal Gear. You know, you talked about Metal Gear with the Rogues Gallery and stuff, but that whole fight was like Metal Gear, just Kojima craziness. And I was surprised that was actually the end of Heisenberg. I didn't think he was really gone after. I was like, nah, we just killed his robots or something. I didn't think that was actually him.
I thought it was
right.
For some reason I got an extreme kick out of him. Like Heisenberg was like my favorite bad guy in this game.
Yep, me too.
Not even close.
Me too.
But like when Chris blew up his factory and he's like, oh no, my metal army.
Yeah.
Like, I laughed hysterically. I don't know why, but like I found it hysterical.
There was so many lines in this game, especially like fast forwarding to the end after Ethan quote unquote dies, when Chris is in the helicopter and he just goes, boom, he's gone, Mia, or whatever he says. I was like, oh, that was Resident Evil 1 levels of
yeah, that was so overacted.
Like, oh my God.
Like they had
what was the one you said on the podcast?
Why does everyone
around me keep dying?
And then he also said right before that, because I played through that, I think he also says, why does this keep happening to me? Shut up, Ethan. Okay, so
yeah, because that's in the when you're saving the family.
Yes.
Or you're trying to save the family, Louisa's house. Actually, quick tangent.
Yep.
Did you guys get Louisa's treasure?
The necklace?
No.
Yeah. Did you inspect the necklace?
Yeah.
Did you inspect it twice?
Yeah, you inspect the necklace, you get the key, and then you use the key in that chest somewhere.
It's in the chest by the it's
by the ceremony site or whatever.
Yeah, it's between the ceremony site and the flasks and the things. I didn't get that till my second playthrough because you can just sell it. And that's what
I think the only thing I missed in my first playthrough, which is weird, I'm kind of shocked I missed it. I had the silver ring.
I never found anything,
and I never got it's the Azure Eye, and you
forget
have
where
to.
That is, but yeah,
it's once you get I think it's Demetre's key in the castle. You have to go back down into one of the dungeon areas, and there's a spot where you can use that key to unlock a door there.
Okay.
And I noticed it on my second playthrough. I'm like, what was down here? I don't remember. And then I actually went down there. I'm like, oh, I definitely didn't go here before. It's another one of those things where you have to knock the flaming thing into the torches to light it, and then it opens up a thing. And then I got the eye, and I checked it, and it said it was combinable. I'm like, I'm going to use this with the ring. Okay. So yeah, I think that was the only one I missed on my first playthrough. But
so like of all the combinable ones, I didn't miss any. I got all the combinable ones on my first playthrough. One, The only one I missed really was the major one I missed was Louise's necklace because you have to inspect it twice to get the key. So I never found it because you can sell it before you inspect it the second time, right? Because the first time you inspect it, you get the jewel, right? And then the second time you inspect it, you get the key. And I was obsessed with trying to find the key to
That's
that
right,
lockbox the
yeah.
second time through. That's the only reason I brought that up because I obsessed with it for like a good half hour trying to find that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, also one thing I forgot. I'm going back through my thread with you, Sean. I forgot to bring up that Heisenberg calls Chris Redfield that boulder punching asshole, which just made me so happy. Because in my mind, I thought it was Wesker that punched the boulder, but I guess it was Chris. I forgot. I mean, I didn't play 5 or 6, whichever one that was. But
So I don't remember. Like, it's been so long since I played 5 and 6. Like 5 I liked, 6 I played once and
yeah,
never picked it up again. But
I
5
never played 6. I feel like I liked 5 almost as much as I liked 4. And then when 4 came out on PS4, I loved it. And then I bought 5 and I did not like it. And I didn't get 10% of the way through. I'm like, nope, I don't know what it is, but I do not like this. And I never
Yeah.
played 6, but I remember originally thinking 5 was just about as good as 4, but
5
I
and
don't know.
4 were
Something
very
about it
similar.
the next time I didn't like it. They were, yeah.
It's like you've got your two main.
Minus all the racism in 5.
yeah, okay, yeah. Fake controversies galore. So yeah, so then you beat Heisenberg, you see Miranda, she talks smack, and then I start texting Sean because I'm like, did this bitch really just tear my heart out? And he's
Yes.
like, yeah. And
I
I'm
couldn't
like,
believe that.
I'm like, wait, I'm dead.
I was looking at it. I'm like, is that my heart? What is happening right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And then you cut to Chris, and I'm like,
Oh.
no way. They've never that I can think of.
yeah, I've
They've never killed a
confirmed
protagonist.
Ethan Winters is
Right.
dead.
I don't
Yeah,
think
when-
they've ever
Yeah.
killed a protagonist in any of
And
the
when-
Resident
when-
Evil games.
When Chris said it, or somebody on the radio said, you know, we can confirm he's dead. I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell is happening now?
I was like, wait, what? Yeah.
Or is he?
And then then you go through the whole thing. Chris fights a bunch of stuff. You get to shoot the rockets at the tree mold thing. There's a million lichens. And then you go down and you find the mega, how do I say it? Mega mycete or mega mesite. I forgot how you say
Mega
it.
mycete.
Mega mycete. Yeah.
So the mega mycete is like the hive mind thing for everyone infected by the mold. But didn't we find out that like the mold in Louisiana isn't the same mold as the mega mycete?
It was like a derivative that was.
It originated there. Yeah.
Okay.
It was
'Cause
like
then
basically they took it from Romania, they modified it, and ended up in Louisiana.
Okay.
Is
So-
the short version, I believe.
So then that's how everybody that is molded can talk to each other, or can at least maybe not talk like in Resident Evil 7 when you're talking to the bakers after they're dead and they're explaining to you what happened. But it's how you can there's like the shared knowledge or something. It's
Yeah.
like a giant hard drive.
So that's actually now you bring that up because what you said at the beginning of the podcast here is like when they was talking about like did they retcon this? I always thought it weird that they were he was always talking to the bakers like at that point, you know, in
Zoe.
in 7, right? Like after they're already
Yeah.
dead.
Yep.
Or infected rather.
Right. So we figured that out. Then that's when you find the lab, and that's when because the whole time you're like, why is the Umbrella logo here? Did they sponsor this village or whatever? No, plot twist. Umbrella was created because Mr. Spencer, what's his name? Oliver Spencer, maybe?
Oswald.
Met Miranda, and they were like, I love you, whatever it was. I don't even know. But then he found the stuff in Africa that he used to create
The T
T
virus.
virus, which Umbrella, and then somehow how did the mold? Wait a minute. Okay, now I'm blanking.
So the mold, like I, if memory,
Molds-
How did the mold
like
come
gave
to
him the
Louisiana?
idea.
Okay,
Like it was, I don't remember how the mold got to Louisiana, but it was like
They got to Louisiana because of
Oh, because of Evelyn
and the ship that crashed. The
That's
ship
right.
like washed up on the shores of Louisiana. Jack went out there and rescued her, and then
Evelyn was only
infected them
there
all.
because Miranda said this is not a suitable, or she didn't become Eva or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So they just
something
shipped
like
her off or something.
So Mia and that team that she was on was like transporting
Right.
Evelyn to somewhere. I don't remember where or why, but then yeah, the ship, it ended up crashing and then it washed up in the bayou.
Yeah, this is when you told me it was going to be like boom, 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 reveal.
It was like
reveal,
twist after
reveal,
twist
reveal.
after-
I was like, I wasn't, even though I knew it was coming. I mean, I knew something was coming. I was not prepared for all this. And then like
Yeah.
Jason, you were saying you
Well,
could
the
read
other
the
thing I
books
thought
on
that was
everybody.
weird.
That was, I liked, honestly, as a bookworm, like I was just like, oh, I can read books on people.
Yep.
Like, oh, that's great.
Yep.
But like, I think like there was something said about like I liked how they tied in as a student of history. Like I like how they tied in the vampirism to like the mold plus inbreeding from like royal families, which I thought was a nice touch. Because that's basically like, remember the Romanovs,
Yeah.
right? That and
she wasn't actually a vampire. The mold plus her history made her vampiric, right?
exactly.
Okay.
I thought that was really kind of cool. It was like how does Resident Evil make Dracula? Okay, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Heisenberg's was pretty interesting because it's just like not a suitable maintain. It was like, oh, it maintains sanity and blah blah blah, and it's like, but still not a suitable. I'm like,
Right.
how? Okay, I don't get it. It's like the song from Buck Cherry.
Sean, were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say, once you find Mia down there,
right?
I remember at the time being like, "Oh my God, Mia, she's alive!"
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Wait a minute." Well, once we found out that wasn't Mia that got killed, I'm like, it's like I just never thought about her again. But in my mind, I was still under the impression she was dead or something. Then once I found her, I'm like, "Oh wait, she's actually alive!" And then I was like,
I texted you, "OMG, Mia,"
because
I
that wasn't
completely
her that
forgot
got killed.
too.
I was just so confused. Yeah.
When I remember like going into that, I'm like, so Miranda replaced Mia, so Mia's dead, but it's not like Capcom to like kill a somewhat major character off screen.
Right.
I can't think of any that they've really done that with.
Well, that's why I don't think the ending was what they showed it out to be. But when Mia starts talking to Chris and all this about Ethan and everything, and then as soon as she said, "No, you don't understand," or something, I was like,
yeah.
What?
At that point, I'm like,
this dude's alive.
Dun.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This bee just ripped his heart out. How are you going to tell me this dude's alive? And that's when. So then we cut to black and we're done with Chris, right? And that's when we go to Ethan's vision or whatever.
Yep.
Of Evelyn.
And
but so Mia knew that about him, but
how
Ethan
did he
didn't even
not
know
know
it about himself?
Right.
Yeah.
Ethan, yeah. So as it stands right now, I don't think it's like ever explicitly described or anything. But yeah, right now it's like Ethan didn't know that he was a mold.
All the other
construct.
people, like
he didn't know he
all the
died
enemies
or anything.
the bosses in this game knew about him because of the mold. But Ethan is literally made of the mold now. So he's plugged into that network too. So why did he just not know it about himself? I don't know. It's weird. But
I mean, to me, it's one of those things where denial is a heck of a thing. Right. If you believe something so deeply, you don't think about it. Right. Like, we could all be constructs of the Matrix, but we don't know that. Right. That's actually the whole idea behind the Matrix.
Or we could be in the Truman Show, which I think is possible also.
Yeah, either one, really.
So then Ethan is talking to Evelyn via the Matrix, basically. And she tells him, you're already dead, whatever. And he's like, no, I don't care. So then he wakes up. He's like, I don't care if I don't have a heart. I guess I'm still alive. And now I'm with Duke. I still do not know. And I haven't seen any videos really going into what the hell Duke's actual place, because Duke knew more the whole story than he was letting on. Obviously, he just had to let Ethan figure it all out and guide him and stuff. But what is Duke?
What is Duke?
Right.
As a slight tangent, I loved how he kept referencing the vendor from
Oh yeah,
Resident Evil 4 is like,
Yeah.
he kept like saying like, oh, as my old friend used to say.
what are you buying? Yeah, my old
Yeah.
buddy merchant used to say that.
Stranger.
Yeah.
But do you guys know what the hell Duke was? Like,
No, like no
Okay.
idea.
I haven't read or heard anything about. Nobody seems to really have much to say about him, but he clearly is somewhat in the know on stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah, he has to be. And he clearly must not like Mother Miranda if he's helping Ethan and he's got him in his horse and buggy to get him to where Miranda is so he can try to save Rose and kill Miranda. I don't know. I need somebody to tell me what the hell Duke is.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
see. The thing is, like, I feel like there's going to be like an episode 1 or 2 or whatever after this,
Yeah.
like an expansion, right, so to speak. And then there's also the Resident Evil verse or reverse or something like that
The multiplayer
movie. That I don't know if you guys got with your pre-orders, but I did with Steam. But that was, yeah.
I did get some kind of. I got an email from Amazon like, "Oh, here's your thing for your gift for pre-ordering it." I'm like, I don't even know what this is, but that's probably what it is. I never actually checked it out. But
I never got mine because I canceled my Amazon because they suck.
So did it ever show up?
No, and I did get refunded, so I just had the heck with it. So they must have just told the because it was getting delivered via Amazon. It wasn't post office or something, so they could probably say, hey, when they go to scan it, it's probably like, meh, 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 don't put this on the truck. So
maybe, yeah.
So then Ethan, he's awake. Duke takes him there. He's like, hey, thanks, buddy. You're the man, Blue. And then so he gets out of there and he's all weak. He goes up to the ceremony site. He finds Miranda. She's doing the sacrifice thing. Poor little Rose comes out of the oil mold. And then she's like, what the hell? This isn't Eva. And then what I don't get is why she says my power is decreasing, or my power is, why is her power going away? Just, or does she just think it is because she couldn't turn Rose into Eva? Like nothing actually happened at that point other than Rose was still Rose and not Eva. And then she starts crying the black ooze and saying my powers are going away.
I think it was just two things that happened at the same time. I think she took Rose out and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, I'm losing my power.
Yeah.
Or
and then, yeah.
I think they're at least they are at least heavily implying that, you know, Rose is draining her power.
Ah, good call.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the way I interpreted that.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be.
That is a really good call. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Well, I mean, I think it also goes like that plus the end cutscene that drove that home to me, like where she's like, oh, you know, I know, like when she like snipes at the one guy where it's like, hey, you know, I know more. There's more things that I can do that even Chris doesn't know about.
Yeah.
Like, kind of heavily implies that she's a lot more powerful than people think.
Right.
So, like, I guess I just connected those two dots. I don't know if you need to. I don't know if they should be connected, but that's what I connected.
What did y'all think of the actual boss fight with Miranda? This was one of those, I liked it overall, but it was one of those again where I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to be shooting. There's so many. This is one of those times when I was like, I think first person makes this way more difficult than it should be, because I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And yeah.
I died to this boss at least 4 times, which I think is the most I died into any one spot in this game.
Yeah.
Because it was like, first you had to shoot her, and then you had to like shoot There's like different things you had to
The
do based on
glowing
which
orb things and
you had to
stuff.
shoot the orbs or she shot them at you.
Yep.
And it was like, and then she also like turned into a
Oh, I didn't
spider.
know
And
that.
yeah, it
Oh,
actually makes it a lot
I got
easier if you figure
lucky.
that one out.
Yeah.
When she did the orbs, I just went. I just hope for the
yeah.
best.
I ran like because you can avoid them by running. Because they just kind of like
Oh,
shoot
okay.
at you if you're like running at an angle or whatever, you can avoid them. But my second playthrough, I figured that one out. But then also my second playthrough, like if you don't shoot her in the end, like the end, like quick time battle thing,
Oh yeah.
if you don't shoot her with something powerful, she can kill you.
Oh, she killed me, but
Really?
my game screwed up. The first time I got to that point, it said R2 to fire or whatever. And I was like, okay. And it was doing, Ethan was just like this. And then she sucked me in and killed me. I was like, well, what the hell? So the
Yeah.
next time I got
Really?
back there, I was just like, as soon as it popped up, I was like, I'm not waiting even a millisecond. Brrr. And that time it worked. But the first time the game just crapped out and I died because I couldn't fire. I had plenty of ammo. So it
Yeah.
wasn't that. The game just crapped out.
Yeah, like my second playthrough, I was just like, oh well, this is just one of those. You just have to hit her once or whatever,
Right.
and it doesn't matter what gun. No, it matters.
No,
Like
you
I was
gotta
like,
empty it.
you have to hit her with
Yeah.
like the second time through. I like put like 4 or 5 Magnum rounds in her face in that part to get out of it. Like it was like because the first one was like I literally sat there with the infinite ammo 1911.
Mm-hmm.
Just oh, this isn't working.
Yeah.
This is still not working. What is going on here? And then the second when I died and reset it, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna hit her with a Magnum a couple times, and that worked.
And then is that it? So then Ethan grabs Rose, he walks out, he starts deteriorating, he sees Chris. They won't show his face, which I think is so funny and weird.
They've never showed his face in either game.
Yeah, and then Chris is like, "No, man, we got to go. You did great." No, man, I can't. My hand is ash right now, and it's falling apart. I just let me stay here and blow up this mega mycete. Oh, and then the giant. Was that the mega mycete like transforming or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then how? Wait a minute. Then so then how? Well, no, I guess we don't know. Never mind. I was gonna say, how are they able to? Because I think the ending. Let's just get to that. Ethan's dead. We think whatever. That's sad. And then we flash
He
forward.
blew himself up.
Yeah,
basically.
we flash forward to Rose. But like Sean, I think Sean, you were saying to me, right, that we don't know. It could be 15 years later or 20, or it could be 2 years and she just aged rapidly like Evelyn did, right?
That was one of the theories online was because of the
thought it
accelerated
said-
aging stuff.
I thought it said
It
like
didn't
20 years
say
later
how
or something.
far.
Maybe I'm just
No, it
imagining
didn't
it.
specify.
Because then what I
So,
saw, some
yeah,
other
I mean-
people were theorizing that when she's at the grave and she's talking, that she actually kind of is talking to Ethan, but she shouldn't be able to if the mega mycete is dead, right? That should sever all the connections because that was the hard drive or
Unless she became
the mega
what the
mycete.
Megamite suit was, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of open questions that the DLCs should at least explore in this.
Yeah,
and
I
that's why-
I never played the DLC for 7, but now I'm like, I love
Was
this
there
story
2?
so much that I just, I think there was 2 or 3, but I love this
There
story
was like
so much.
Zoe.
There was Zoe, there was the Not a Hero, which was free. There was another one with all the traps and stuff, right?
There was the one with, I think there's the one with Jack where you didn't have a gun.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Hmm.
So then Rose gets up from the grave. Obviously her tests are part of, Chris's organization. We assume Chris is looking over her. He's going to take care of her. He promised Ethan and everything. This guy, for a second from far away, I was like, dude, is that Leon with slick back hair now?
I
or
thought that
something?
too. I
Okay,
thought that
good.
too. I was like, they've had 2 games without Leon Kennedy in it. Like that's almost too many. Like, because it's like they
Yeah.
had like think about it this way, like the even numbered games had Leon in it.
Yeah.
2, 4, and 6.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then 1, 3, and 1 and 5 had Chris in it.
Right.
And then but they also haven't
And
had
Coach
Jill in the
Rocco.
game in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, just the remakes.
Yeah.
So then she shows this guy up. She's like, "Yeah, you have no idea how powerful I am." Something. Does she say Chris doesn't even know or something? I
Yeah,
think.
I can do more stuff that even Chris knows about or something.
That's right.
Something along those
Yeah.
lines.
So
Something
then
like
they get in the car. They get in the Jeep. They drive away. But then
They
you
stop.
you see somebody walking, and I texted Sean. I was like, "Somebody's walking to the truck, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." I don't know. That's Ethan. Now I don't know if it's actually just a vision or if it's just they already had this character model, so they just put it in there. But people hacked photo mode.
yeah. Okay.
And
You saw that.
They
Yeah.
went back and they're like, "No, this is
Yeah.
Ethan."
It's Ethan's character. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Ethan's model. Yeah.
So,
So people, yeah, basically people are like, it's Ethan, or is it just we've already got that model? It's gonna be so
Right.
far away you can't tell who it is. Just throw Ethan in there. Who cares? But
my money is that it's actually
so
Ethan.
in that you actually can see his face.
Yeah, and he's like his model are just
He's
bug eyed
just
and
a
everything.
doofus
He's
looking.
weird looking.
Yeah, they're like, well, you're never gonna see his face. We don't really care what his face looks like. But
My thing is, I think it's Ethan because the old horror movie trope, and I'm gonna say horror game trope as well. If you don't see somebody die, you don't
They
know
don't
that
die.
they're actually dead.
they're
Yeah.
not dead.
Now, and who knows? Because I mean, he was powerful enough to just put his hand back on with some life medicine and stuff. I don't know. Now you saw all the concept art, right, of who was supposed to be in this.
I didn't look at any of the concept art.
Oh, y'all didn't
Oh,
hear this?
Ada.
Ada Wong was supposed to be in the game. They cut
Yeah.
her. She was going to be wearing this cool Bloodborne looking outfit. And she, I think in the original story, somebody was, I read somewhere that it was rumored that she might actually save Ethan. So now what my money is on is that somehow Ada actually did save him. Because again, I don't think he's dead because we didn't see him blow up. I don't know if
So
it is Ada or something, but I think that's actually Ethan at the end of the game. I don't think it's a vision or anything like that.
so oddly enough, as a quick tangent, one of my favorite parts about 6 was there's this one particular point at which Chris and Leon basically almost start fighting because the storyline, blah blah blah. So I would love for this game, like in the DLCs, to have like Leon and Ada come into this game somehow.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, because there's
But I
also
don't think
like
they'll.
the thing that's also here is like there's also because you guys neither one of you played 6, right?
Mm-mm. No.
So they introduced Rebecca was in that game and from 0, and also they introduced a new character named Jack in that game. And I'm curious to see if they explore those routes in the DLC. They've already, I believe they've already announced that there's DLC for this game.
Correct. We don't know how much, but there will be something. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is, I'll be getting this one.
Yep.
Oh God, yeah.
I just, man, again, like I said at the beginning, this game ended up being so much better than I was worried it was not go. That's not a sentence. This game was so much better than I thought it was going to be when I first started playing. And I am so happy that it did. I do wonder if maybe for 9, because what we don't know, if it's not that much of a time jump to where she just does age rapidly, then Chris is still in play. We could see Ada. Maybe Leon comes back. Like if it's not a time jump, I hope they just say, you know what? We're going to go Metal Gear Solid 4, except make a better game. And this is going to be fan service to the nth degree. Ethan's not dead. Chris is here. Leon comes back. Ada, bring them all back. Wesker comes back from the dead. I don't even care. He's the Megamycete. I don't even care. Just throw everything at it. He dies in 6, right? Or is it 5?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Like 6, I've only played once.
Fight him. I think you like fight him. Is it the end of 5 where you have like a
Isn't
fist
that
fight
the boulder
with him? It's like-
punching? Is it
maybe
Chris
that's
that
what
kills
that's
him?
From.
I think that
I
all sounds
think
familiar.
yeah. But maybe he showed up again in 6 or something. I don't really know.
I feel like he was in 6 at least on this outside the normal, like he wasn't like in like the main focus of the game.
Yeah.
Jill was in 6 too, now I think about it.
Yeah, 6 kind of was
Wow.
what I was saying, right? Didn't they bring everybody back?
They brought everybody back except for like Barry. You
Okay.
know, and Rebecca was
almost a Jill sandwich.
I was going to ask if
that
that
one.
was Barry. I couldn't
That's
remember.
Barry.
Okay.
The guy carrying the Colt Python.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the like six had a lot of like the main characters were in it, like Jill, Chris,
And you jumped
Leon.
around from who you're controlling, right?
There was three separate
Okay.
overlapping storylines. Um, and Chris, so you had Chris and his buddy, who I can't remember his name, and then you had Leon and his sidekick, whose name I can't remember, and Ada was involved in that. And there's an Ada and a fake Ada.
Hmm. I think I have
So
heard that. Yeah.
it was kind of interesting, but like those two storylines literally cross paths. Like Leon starts here, Chris starts here, and they go like this,
Yeah.
kind of.
Huh.
But yeah, I like the story behind six. I just don't like the game. It felt more like a third person shooter than anything.
Yeah, it was more like a Gears of War or something.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good game. I played it. I think I might have beaten all three storylines twice now that I think about it.
Okay.
But
Um, is there anything we didn't touch on? I just love this game. I don't even
Yeah.
care. I don't even consider it retcons because it doesn't, I mean, it kind of feels like retcons. I guess it's retcons, but I just love that it added so much more. They didn't forget about what happened in 7. For a lot of the game, I thought that they did. They made it all actually in their weird way actually make sense. They showed where Umbrella came from way back in the day, why they took the logo. The mold makes it, it's just, I was very pleasantly surprised with this.
so I loved the heck out of this game. I really did. They the storytelling, the interweaving of everything was so great. I honestly really describe this game as 4 and 7 having a baby, and the game being
That's exactly what it is. Yep.
yeah, like the game being like at least as good as the sum of its parts, if not better. In that particular analogy.
Yeah.
But like I don't understand how anybody compared this to 6 at all.
No.
I don't get it. I frankly just do not understand it.
No. And I didn't think this was
Yeah.
way too action focused. You know, it was
No.
I think there was more combat than in 7, but it never felt like it was too much. I mean, the Chris part was, but that's what that's for, you know.
Yeah.
The Chris part was fine. Yeah. To me, the most out of hand it got was the stronghold, like the Lycan Den or whatever.
And that's
Like,
why I
yeah.
just rang.
that
I
was the
said, "F
first time
this."
where I'm just
Yeah.
like, all right, come on, guys. You're blowing through all my ammo. That was the only part where it seemed a bit much, but whatever.
Yeah, like outside of that, it felt like it honestly, it felt like a return to a successful formula, so to speak, because it's like barring the stupid controls that I can't go back and play for like 1 and 2
Yeah.
specifically. The game, except for there's basically 2 Resident Evil tropes that they didn't have in this game. There wasn't a countdown to anything blowing up. And
Yeah.
there wasn't like something magically giving you a powerful weapon to kill the final boss.
Right.
Right. That happened in both 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But like other than that, like this, like hey, I need to explore this thing to figure out something, or like I'm trapped here, or, and then insert like gotta survive and it's scary. Like that's basically the formula to a Resident Evil game.
Ooh.
And then you add the countdown to something self-destructing
Right.
and like
I did just think of one other thing that I didn't bring up. The whole the thing on the helicopter where one of the BSAA agents looks like a tyrant
Yes.
or something.
yes. I that was a good touch. I like that. The BSAA is using bioweapons.
I feel like we're gonna have like 9.
They're setting up. They've got, like, if you think about it this way, they have so many threads of storytelling that they could continue on.
Yeah.
Like, and I haven't played any of the like Revelations or any of those games, but like they've got the stuff they didn't pick up from 6. the stuff that's between 7 and 8, um, just and then they keep adding more to it. Like, you've got the BSAA is now almost the bad guys. And by the way, if you look up the lore online, have you ever heard of Blue Umbrella?
I saw that, but I don't remember hearing
Yeah.
it until I just read about it on Wikipedia or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so Blue Umbrella apparently is like the they're like a paramilitary company instead of a pharmaceutical slash paramil whatever. But that's like in 7, there's like Chris is working for, like, you see an umbrella patch that's blue that Chris is wearing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Blue Umbrella is like the good umbrella,
Right.
like but like if you start reading the lore behind all of these games, apparently like the Revelations and Revelations 2 and a lot of those other like tangential games really add to this. And there's a lot more that they can explore with those. So I'm really kind of excited for the next, like, I know it's going to be 3-4 years before we get a Resident
Yeah.
Evil 9, but the DLCs will be nice, I think.
I hope
Oh,
so.
yeah.
I loved it.
Oh yeah, well, that game.
Yeah, it's easily my game of the year right now. I mean, there hasn't been much out this year. We'll see when Ratchet comes out, and I got to get to Returnal and hopefully Horizon and Axiom
So
Verge 2 and Ninja Turtles. But yeah, this is easily my game of the year.
I'm actually going to go on a limb and say that this is the best game that came out during the pandemic for me. What came out last year during the pandemic that was good?
Just Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, yeah,
during the
remake
pandemic.
Final Fantasy
That's the only
VII
other thing.
That was right at the beginning. Yeah.
That
That's
was
the
right
only
at the
other thing I can
beginning.
think of. That
There
was
was
right
like-
before. I guess technically it was before.
I think it was
yeah.
right before.
Immortals, Demon Souls.
I never liked either
Oh,
of those
yeah.
games personally, but
It might. Oh man. Yeah.
No,
if you think
it's
about it
up
that
there.
way, it's the best game that came out in almost like a year and a
It's-
half.
It's up there. It's definitely up there.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, cool. I think that covers it. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got together to do this. Thank you, Jayson,
Oh, anytime.
for hanging out
This-
with us. It's been too long.
This once I beat it, I'm just like texting Sean, like, "Are you guys doing a spoiler cast?" Because
Well, at the time, it was funny because I hadn't beaten it yet. I'm like, I don't know, maybe it depends on how much Kevin likes it. Or I think I had beaten it, but Kevin hadn't yet. I was like, I don't know, we'll see what Kevin thinks. I don't even know if he likes it now. I'm like, okay. Once you were saying how much you liked it, even before you had beaten it, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, once he sees the ending, he's gonna want to do a spoiler
Yeah,
cast on it. So,
because the other thing is, like, at work, like, we're working like every other week from home and every other week from the office. So at any given time, there's half my office there, and most of the people that play video games are on the other half. So I never see them.
Yeah.
So like, I didn't have anybody to talk to about this. So
Yeah.
it was nice.
No, this is the first game since, honestly, yeah, it's the first game since Final Fantasy VII that I wanted to do a spoiler cast for. So,
yeah, it's the first one that's really needed.
yeah. Demon Souls, we don't got to talk about. Immortals Phoenix Rising, we don't got to talk about. Like, yeah. There's a Cyber Shadow. No, there's no. I died 479 times, whatever it was. That's the spoiler cast.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the only other game that came out in that time frame. Maybe I don't remember when that came out.
Yeah, it did. It was fall. Yeah, it was fall
It was like
last year.
last fall.
Yeah,
That's a good game.
October.
I still haven't beaten it though.
yeah. I didn't even play it. I feel like those games are way too big now. I played Odyssey for a little bit. Was it Odyssey or yeah, it was Odyssey. And I was like, this is just like the problem why I never got into The Witcher 3. It's just there's too much. I just get overwhelmed.
I was looking at my Steam queue and all 3 Witcher games are on it.
Mhm.
I'm like, that's a commitment right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got the books actually.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is the third one. And they're actually, the books are really good.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll call it there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Again, thank you, Jayson, for being here. Thank you,
Anytime.
Sean, as always. Remote today, but always here in my heart. And until the next time, go ahead and take us out, Sean.
Thank you for playing.